also
So,
difficult in Europe. We have some countries that are quicker to make changes, but
mm,
usually the birds change quicker than the standards.
yeah.
So it often happens that the bird moves completely to a different direction, and then 10 years later they see, well, we don't have the birds like they are descripted or depicted in the standard anymore. We need to change something. We have revisions of the standard every 2 years,
Hmm.
and all the changes done by usually it's the country of origin where the breed comes from that is allowed to make changes,
Oh, fascinating.
and then they're adopted for the rest of Europe.
Yeah, I know when I got the standard, I got revisions all the way back from like 2008. And
Yes.
then like every two
Yeah.
years. So I took out maybe like this much paper after the revision. But in some
Yeah.
cases, it was just like really minor, like changes like a word here or there, or what have you for
Yeah.
the breeds. Ooh.
Sometimes it's also just spelling.
Yeah. Where do you see the poultry hobby going in Switzerland kind of moving forward? Do you have the same issue that we have here in the States where it's you're getting less and less exhibitors and less breeders over time?
Yeah, it's a tricky question. I think that breeding and showing is not really a modern hobby anymore.
Mm,
Chicken are an absolute hype, on the other hand. So we have tons of people entering the hobby of having chicken, also breeding them for fun.
yeah.
And I think that's a really good connection to our hobby. And we have a lot of people that start breeding and showing eventually.
Hmm.
Um, but we also lose people that, well, age is a big factor, and
Right.
many people don't have the opportunity though to, yeah, you need to have space and nice neighbors. If you don't have the space,
Right.
that's actually the limiting factor for most of the people.
Okay.
But then they start to have quails in the backyard and can also show quails. So yeah,
Right. I forgot about the quail. Quail are also in your poultry standard to
yeah,
show.
yeah,
Yeah. And that was fairly recent, right? Maybe in 2014 or 16, I saw the revision that included quail.
right. Yeah, the
Did
hobby
it,
is not dying just yet, but it's changing quickly. Yeah.
yeah. Was the reasoning behind including the quail partially due to the desire to bring in new exhibitors that didn't have the space to have the larger birds?
Yeah, I think we had a lot of chicken breeders that already had quails for fun or for whatever reason. And maybe it was, I think it doesn't hurt anyone. I mean, maybe we gained some breeders because of the quails, maybe not, but they're
Mhm.
cute anyway, so
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Super cute.
no damage done there, I think.
We see kind of in the poultry hobby, and I think all hobbies related to animals and agriculture, kind of the loss of breeders and exhibitors over time. And I think that's just kind of with the modern age, like we're competing with technology and other interests and things that are a lot easier, for people to do or become interested in. Because raising poultry, especially exhibition poultry, takes dedication, it takes time, it takes space, and it takes finances to be able to do it. Younger people that are starting their lives, they're going to school, they're getting married, they're having kids, they have so many things that they have going on, right? So it makes it difficult to kind of carve out that time, space, and money for exhibition poultry. So we see a lot of people getting more towards retirement. Older people that do have those resources, they can only be in there for a certain amount of time. I don't quite know what the answer is to that. Like, how do we get new interest in the poultry hobby?
Yeah, that's always difficult to say, and it really depends on the people. But I feel like there's a quite big movement of awareness for food production in Switzerland, for environmental problems and issues. Backyard chicken are a nice way to gain some connection back to like a small piece of nature or like a small model of food production.
Yeah,
And I think we should exploit this sector much more with our hobby.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, we start one of the great breeders and poultry people in the States. once said that we missed the opportunity to capitalize on like the next golden age of exhibition poultry by alienating kind of these newer, we call them backyard chicken breeders, looking down on them essentially because they don't have
Yeah.
the show birds and all that. It's really a shame that that happened.
Yeah, I think it's a pity because it's the same here, but I'm really trying to break that up a little bit because I would also be into showing non-breed birds. I mean, if it would bring people to the hobby, why not? Let
Mm,
them have their crossbreed. They can be pretty in some aspects too.
yeah,
I think that maybe our standardized breeds and the idea behind them is really, yeah, it's just as funny or just as how do you say, it's just as not rational to the general opinion like we look at backyard chicken in general. So
right.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a disconnect between the show community and kind of the normal people community.
Yeah. And sometimes it's just also the vocabulary. So if show people in Switzerland, like older people, they talk about their birds, they say, well, this rooster is nothing, call them. So we're quite harsh to our birds.
Yeah,
And the public, how do you say, like younger generations nowadays, they're not used to that way of handling animals or treating them.
right.
I think there's a lot of learning that needs to be happen on both sides.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Here, the kind of the words that we use or vocabulary is one of the touchy subjects too, because we use the proper terminology in exhibition poultry. We call young birds are either cockerels or pullets. Older birds are cocks and hens. The backyard people or the uses like Roo or the girls or cute names like that. When breeders, especially older breeders, hear those terms, they automatically think, well, they're stupid.
Yeah. Last case.
Yeah,
Eye rolls. Yeah.
exactly. I roll, that kind of stuff. It almost seems like it's a disconnect between seeing the birds as livestock and seeing the birds as pets, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Mm.
But I think in the end, our showbirds, they're actually pets. I mean, we're closer to the backyard people than to people that don't like animals. I mean,
Yes.
we have a lot of common ground, and I think it's a pity to have this connection. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I could have said it better myself. We have more in common than we think, right? Because we all love the
Yeah.
birds, but for slightly different reasons.
And if we look at most of the challenges we have now in Switzerland, because of bird flu, sanitary reasons, we we have a lot of common interests also in facilitating the regulations for keeping birds in the backyard. And I think if we all stick together, the community gets bigger.
Mm,
So I think it's really important to be open to
yeah,
backyard chicken in general too.
I completely agree.
But
And
that's not the opinion of all the people in the hobby, unfortunately.
mm,
Yeah.
right, right. It's
Yeah,
snowing
we
there.
have a lot of quite Christmassy here already.
It's beautiful there. I loved it. Thank you for taking the time to answer our questions, for the exhibition poultry community. It's really great to get an outside perspective of the hobby from another part of the world.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for the question.
Yeah, absolutely.